Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Curren CR8283 Pilot's Watch. Yes, I know I put C8283 on the title screen, and I didn't feel like going back and changing it, but close enough. Let's start out with the wrist check. I wear my Invicta 89280B, homage to a Rolex Bluesy. And Grego is wearing my Bernie AM126M, homage to a Submariner Hulk. Grego asked Miggs Mayfield if he ever ran into Darth Vader when he was in the Imperial Army. He said he remembered he encountered him when Mayfield was just a private. Darth Vader briefed him on a mission, and when he was done, Mayfield said, "See you later, Master Vader." And Vader said, "After a while, rank and file." Alright, here's the watch. The watch did not come in a box. This was a $16 watch. So $16 watches usually don't come in boxes. But that's okay. We love them anyway. This is the first Curren on my channel. Curren is a watch brand in the ultra affordable range, and their watches seem to be priced between $12 and $25. This one falls near the middle at $16. I have a feeling that this won't be the last Curren I review, as I'm curious to check out one of their metal braceleted models with fitted end links. Recently I've reviewed Steel Dive and San Martin Pilot watches. Each time I complained they were a little small. Well, you can't say that about this Curren. At 47mm, this is a big friggin' watch, or I should say a big friendly watch. At $16, one might not expect much, but actually I've been quite pleased. It's a substantial watch for the money. Nobody expects a $16 watch to be solid stainless steel, but the watch head doesn't feel light, fragile, or tinny. If the watch is too big, then there is a 42mm version with 22mm lugs. The watch is 46.8mm at the case, 55.0mm lug to lug, 13.8mm thick, has a 24mm lug width, 24 is also 24mm at the buckle, and weighs 77 grams on the supplied leather strap. The plain bezel is the same size as the case, with no embellishment or fluting or anything like that. The dial is a flat black with no sunburst effect. We have the Curren name with the C in red. The red C is standard Curren and is on all of their watches and was not done deliberately to match the second hand. The indices are painted on numerics with the same old-fashioned font of the Steel Dive I reviewed recently. They look like they are lume, but they are not. There is no lume on this watch at all. We have cathedral-type hands and red arrow-tipped second hand that hits the marks. The chapter ring has quarter-second markers, which is useless on this quartz watch. Then at the indices is a minute counter in red. As you can see, they're really small and they're kind of difficult to read on the black background. We have a color-matched date window to the left of the three. Color-matched date windows on a watch of this price is usually a pretty big deal. Then the bottom subdial is a day of the week indicator. I don't like the subdial, and I think it would have looked better without it. The push-pull onion crown is huge. Here, let's take a look how big it is. 10.6mm. Big crown. Big crowns like this were put on pilot watches so you can operate them with the gloves on. It's almost as big as the case, and a nice touch that the Steel Dive and San Martin did not have. Pulling the crown hacks the movement. I'm not sure what kind of movement this is, but thankfully it doesn't have the ultra loose crown action where the minute hand flops all over the place. See, it's not going anywhere. And then when you push the crown in, it doesn't jump or anything. It is a loud movement, and you can hear the watch ticking without holding it up to your ear. The crystal is a domed mineral glass. It's got a pretty good dome to it. You have to really tilt it, though, before you start seeing the distortion. The case is a PVD-coated alloy. They also make a chrome-plated colorway. I think the black looks so much better than the chrome. I do not recommend the chrome. I just don't like the looks of it. The press-on case back says stainless steel back, which is another indication the case is not stainless steel. It has the Curren name and logo along with the model number. And then it says water resistant, so that means it's only got the 30 meters. Otherwise, it would have a meter rating. Then it says unique design. It's not really a unique design, but oh well. The strap is really nice and one of the highlights of the watch. The lugs are not designed for a steel bracelet with fitted end links, so leather straps are really your only choice. I mean, I guess you could put a steel bracelet on this, but not with fitted end links. It doesn't say genuine leather on the strap, but it sure feels real. If it is fake leather, it is really good fake leather. It has the Curren logo right here on the side. It's very comfortable and feels very substantial. It's 24 millimeters with no taper at the buckle. Then it has this floating keeper with this teardrop cutout. I'm not sure what the teardrop cutout is for, but it's nice. And I like the fact that it only has one keeper and it's not fixed, because that way you don't have to really bend the leather to put it in the keeper. You can just slide the keeper over, then slide it. I wish more straps would be this way. I think it helps preserve the strap without having a deployment clasp on it. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. Yes, it's a big watch, and I can barely pull it off with a 7.5. If you have a much smaller wrist, then it's going to overhang. But it's comfortable. It's light. It's a very light watch, considering how big it is. But it doesn't feel cheap and light like some watches do. And the weight of the strap balances out the weight of the head, so it's comfortable even though it's big. We will not be taking a trip to the loom room because this watch has no loom whatsoever. So that's unfortunate, but then again, that would have raised the price. And so they would have raised the price and the loom would have been really bad anyway. So maybe it's just better without it. What do I like about this watch? Well, you're getting a very substantial watch for the price. I mean, it's only $16, but it feels good. I like the fact that it has a color matched date. And I really like this nice leather strap. And I like this big onion crown. What are my gripes and groans? I don't like the day subdial. Watch would look better without it. You don't really need it. Everybody knows what day of the week it is. I often look at my watch to know the day of the month, but I never need to know the day of the week. And Curren dumped the Red Sea. I just don't think it looks good on a watch dial. And the watch has no loom whatsoever. You can hear this one ticking. And I think they need to clean up this busy chapter ring. Once again, we don't need the sub-seconds because it's a quartz watch. And these minute counters are just too hard to read. It'd be better off without them. Do I recommend this watch? Sure, it's only $16. It is clearly worth that. Yes, it is a really big watch, but the weight is very evenly distributed and it doesn't feel as big as it is. And of course, if you have a smaller wrist, I recommend getting the 42 millimeter version, which looks the same, just a little bit smaller. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Curren CR8283, and I will be back. I have another unboxing video for you next. Bye.